Hey guys, this is Mario. So, this specific game I didn't actually mean to play. It was a bit of a mistake. My kid actually hit the Q button, so I was like, oh fuck, I might as well play this game. Now, during the game, I decided it was time I tested something that I've really been thinking a lot about. I've been doing variations of it on the Korean ladder. I haven't been showing these to you guys, but it's a pretty strong play. And one of the places it only really works on, though, is like 4-player maps. Especially this one. This is a pretty good map for it. Uh, you can do it on I think there's only one other 4-player map. It's where your third is pretty damn close by. It's like your main, then your natural, and then your third, and then your fourth off to the side behind some rocks. But on this specific map, or with this specific strategy, what we go for is like a command center first, and then we finish the wall off. And with the you place the command center at 14 supply, and then you resume SUV production, and then you drop your barracks at about 16 supply, and then you go for double gas geysers once you have the financial income to do so. Usually this happens around 17 supply. There you go. Now what we're doing from here is we're doing some high tech or some power teching. And it makes us a little bit weak at the start, but then, we kind of spiral out of control. We do have the early expansion, which is nice. It helps us afford the double gas better, and then when the barracks finishes, we can start, 2 orbital commands almost right away. And then we can kind of go from there. Now, I did supply a block myself at a prime time, like right before my siege tank, which is definitely a mistake, so that's unfortunate. We're getting our factory with the first gas and then a reactor, and this is a great map for this, by the way, because of the bunker. But because I actually forgot about the other supply depot, because normally I'm reminded by doing the wall off, then, it's a mistake, so we are going to supply block ourselves in a little bit. Do not forget the supply depot. You want to drop it quite a bit earlier, but you drop the engineering bay around the same time that you drop the starport. It's pretty risky. You're hoping they don't also proxy all in you with Stargate. I mean, you're definitely weaker to it, but then you could just delay the starport and you can get the engineering bay if you want to scout it. I didn't scout because I was being pretty damn greedy, so that's a mistake. So because I didn't really scout, I dropped the 2 missile turrets just in case. So that's it's a bit unfortunate. I should have scouted a lot earlier. Now, off the starport, we're gonna go ahead and get a tech lab. Yeah, I was a bit busy. I was playing with my kids and the game at the same time. They were having the time of their life. But so we got 2 tech labs and a reactor, and we can make like a Raven so that we can stop observers and do alright against Dark Templar with the siege tank and the barracks, and we got some nice teching going on over here. It just makes you relatively safe against everything once it comes out. Like one base bank stalker would have come out right about now, it would like blink into my main. So I would be weak against that, which sucks that I haven't scouted it yet because there's only some ways that I wouldn't be, and it's like if I put a bunker like in this location and one in this location, and then another one like right here, and put my siege tank right behind it, so it covers a large area. But I scout him out, and it looks like he's going for a third. I never actually got to confirm this, but yeah, he's going for a third. I would assume this is because of the fast expansion that he scouted. Sorry, there's some dogs out, and I thought it was my kids yelping or something. I was like, what? And then we go into Banshee production. So Siege Tank, Banshee, Miriam. This is pretty nice opener. You get your second gas, right around the same time you start the Banshees. Like, you should be mining once you start the Banshees, and then your other refinery a little bit after that. Because you only need 3 gas geysers to really support these. I mean, you could kind of do it off of 2. But 3 makes it less airtight, and you can get more production structures. So the 3rd gas geyser makes it so you can really pump them out consistently, and then the 4th one is so you can keep tacking at a consistent basis or drop more factories. So we're going to speed it up just a little. Oh, in this situation, since we are trying to confirm the 3rd, there it is. He makes it. So we decide to do a little push. The factory timing has nothing to do with the fact that we pushed out. We're actually just getting 4 factories right now, and this is part of it. We're delaying our armories, our armory. We're reducing the upgrades for a bigger army advantage. And we want to push out. We weren't expecting the immortals that are about to come up on the screen. So he's definitely doing alright. I'm getting kind of head on right here. So he's definitely going to do alright in kind of holding this, but then the follow-up becomes pretty powerful. So here's the armory, just in case we need to get like an transform into Hellbats, in case we need Widow Mine Burrow. And he actually ends up having more than we thought he did, just slightly up here, an extra immortal. I thought we would have been able to, really take the fight, but it's pretty damn close. Now we start our third, but we're not really gonna saturate it. Here we are swapping the add-ons. We're retreating back home, and your goal is to get up to 3 tech lab and 2 reactor, and then see no upgrades yet. If you go any upgrades with the strategy, it has to be the armor upgrade. Don't really want to get the attack upgrade until you're already at like +2, because you're gonna be relying on siege tanks, which ones already have a lot of damage, and the +1 attack won't help against immortals. So the armor upgrade helps you with keeping your army alive longer, especially the Widow Mines, which we'll be getting in just a minute. So right now we're really just pumping out like a Hellion siege tank. We have our initial Marines and Banshees and so on. And we're still producing Banshees. And from our expansion we're only getting the gas. This allows us to really keep the Banshee production going. We can get the upgrades that we want, so we want to get, we can explode more. But it's kind of a ticking window if you play it like this. Because he's already almost on +2 armor, +1 attack, so he's going to be 3 upgrades ahead of us. So we do have to catch up a little bit soon, and maybe drop like a second armory if things go bad. If our push goes well, then we don't need to. But if our push doesn't go well, then yeah, we definitely need to back up a bit, or defend up and upgrade faster. Despite the supplies being even, our army is a lot higher in power. And this has to do with the fact that he kept making workers and we didn't, and our factories exploded, and we kind of have enough resources off of 2 mining bases to support all these, all this infrastructure. As you can tell, we still have some extra minerals. It's really the gas that we're low on. So here we go, we see a shit ton of immortals, and he comes in for the attack, and we actually get kind of destroyed. We left a lot of forces at home on accident. So that is a huge problem on our part. I'm not 100% sure if it would have made that much of a difference. And another siege tank here. Come to think about it, it would have been like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more tanks, 7 more tanks. That would have done a lot more damage. So it's definitely a mistake, and a lot of Hellions. So that's unfortunate. So we decided to do something that we don't do very often. And in this case, it's Widow Mines. Now, since we have the gas geysers here, the Widow Mine siege tank is very gas intensive, so we go ahead and grab a 4th, doing a little bit of Hellion arrest with the remaining Hellions. But we grab a 4th so we can get the gas geysers going. That's kind of the biggest important part, and we know that he doesn't have splash yet, so we're very happy about that. Which is why we're really able to produce so many Widow Mines and siege tanks. I'm just gonna fast forward a little bit past this little building phase. We throw in another Raven, because we had to cancel this because he came around, but we had to throw in another Raven, and this helps because then we can see, detectors, observers on the map, and their Widow Mines are able to shoot them if they fly too close. So that's kind of what the Raven is for. We can also use it the Hunter Seeker or Point Defense Drone or Auto Turret, but mostly it's going to be either Hunter Seeker or Auto Turret. Kind of delay the movement, and since we couldn't grab the 4th here, we're going to grab the 4th here, then probably fly it over here during the attack. And since we have so many minerals, like once again, it's the gas that's the problem, it's not the minerals, we're going to drop more factories. And that's the problem with Siege Tank Widow Mine, is that you have so much gas that's necessary to supplement your army. Our barrack sees that he's going for another base. Definitely not something we want. Kind of moves in here. Gets a siege tank from the splash, but we drop some turrets. We want to make sure but he can't push into here. And our actual upgrades are +1. Like, we don't have any other upgrades, and he's sitting over here with +3 armor and +2 attack. So we're way behind in terms of upgrades. But we have a lot of Widow Mines. We have 17 siege tanks and 24 Widow Mines. And we're staying at a relatively healthy worker count. You know, we're sitting at about 60 right now, which just means our army supply is just massive. And he's going for an air switch, so it's definitely unfortunate for us. 2 oracles do like revelations or raid a mineral line or something like that. So here we decided to push out. We're like, alright, we have a lot of production, so we're gonna get another tech lab because we got, you know, we're gonna go up to 4 and then 3 more reactors, so we can make a lot of Widow Mines and Hellions if we really want. And we start our +2 armor, and we keep the +2 on attack because this is a pretty micro-intensive. Like, you have to watch your army the whole time if you're gonna try to fast push, and you know, you really keep in control of your siege line and your Widow Mines and where you're gonna go. You know, try not to overextend. You save all your scans. You don't know. I mean, we got plenty of money, so the scans really are for, or the energy really is for scans to make sure you're in a good position. Scan his army, and we're gonna try to like filter him out. So we want him attacking into a line. So we want him to move over the Widow Mines. So we go up here. We gotta make sure that he stays in a good spot, so we keep scanning. And once we realize that, yeah, alright, he's still there, he's not moving around, we're gonna go ahead and push up a little bit more. And he's got a Tempest, so that is our first sign of air. We haven't seen it till then. Siege up over here, but to be honest, I think you know, it's a fine spot to siege. It's kind of near a warp, but I imagine supply is pretty high at this stage. Now, supply is lost. We've lost 2,000 more than he has, which is a shame. We've lost a lot of siege tanks and so on. But the amount of mines and positioning that we have here is definitely going in our favor. So here he comes. Now we've evened it up a little bit, but since he can see the Widow Mines, he stops to attack them instead of moving in, which isn't bad, but it's definitely helping us. Because, you know, he's taking out a lot of the Widow Mines, but he gets another Zealot warp in here and he kills the siege tanks. So that's not good on our part, but we're remaking 4 tanks at a time and 10 Widow Mines. And we've retained a lot of the Widow Mines, but not all gone. And now we've secured this base and we've got the gas geysers, and that's kind of what we really needed. We don't want them picked off one at a time, so we retreat to our planetary. We know he can't quite push into here just yet, so we're just being a little, you know, a little safe. Just really producing a lot of Widow Mines, right now 12 at a time. And he does see this, which means that we move back because we don't want him hitting our units from the range. So now he can kind of hit the command center. Which is unfortunate for us because he does end up sniping it, but it's also kind of fortunate because we kill a lot of units. And while we move up, we send this Nexus or this command center over to land. We get under the Tempest, and we're just trying to zone them out. Like, we don't want to move up this ramp one at a time, so we kind of, you know, kill the debris. But we also don't want to keep attacking, you know, while the zealots are there. We just have to be a bit careful. So we're waiting a little bit for the recharge time. Trying to kill that observer with the scans and the Widow Mines. Lots of Widow Mines still in production. Like, he did a little counterattack. We kind of kept ourselves here, so we're just keeping 1 Widow Mine back here, just in case. Or 2, sorry, in case that Zealot comes back, or a few more. Kind of run in here, scan, kill the observer. And once you're in a position to, like, you can't move over these mines, so we're like, alright, oh, another scan, we got another observer. We want to get these robotics facilities, so we can't get more observers. Scan, kill the observer. Here we go again. Oh, it's gone. So he's got no more observers left, to my knowledge. Oh, he's got 1 left. And, oh no, I just killed it. Now we're taking all of his production structures. And we're taking out all the production structures. And just still making a lot more Widow Mines. We're getting the +3 armor. See, the attack upgrade didn't really help us all that much here. It's the Widow Mines that were really the strength of the army. The siege tank is zoning them. Like the siege tank and the widow mine work really nice because the closer you get to the siege tank, the less damage it will do. But the closer you get to the widow mine, the more it will do. And the siege tank is like the farther you are away, the more damage it will do. So they really complement each other well, as long as you're positioned in a really great spot. Zoning out those tempests. You know, we got some here, we got some here, so you can't just fly over and kill this. So it's accurate. I haven't really lost with the strategy. Not really since the heart of the Storm beta. It's not something I do very often anymore either though. It's like a trump card. I keep it nice and hidden. So here's the resources lost. We're just zoning him out at this stage. Like he's got a whole other base going and he's trying to get some Stargates. But now we're throwing in some Hellions. We have so much production. We're getting more command centers over here. Getting another command center to take these minerals. We knew, we were aware of this, but we really wanted to go for his mining bases. Oh. And that's kind of the end of the game. So some things you should know about this style of play is that if you go for a lot of widow mines and siege tanks, you kind of need a lot of factories because you're going to have to replace them. Another thing is that if they go for High Templar and Colossi, you have to push slower. You can still push, but you have to do it slower. You can't put yourself in a situation where the Colossi can hit the widow mines without them being shelled at by the siege tanks. And the High Templar cannot storm the widow mines too many at a time. So you definitely need to give it some space. Besides that, it's a pretty fun strategy, something that you can just mess around with. I would definitely say that like about 10 factories is a good number. 9 factories. So I got 9 right now. It's a pretty good number, but this is only if you're on 4 base economy. Otherwise, you kind of want to scale it down to 5 or 6. You know, depends on if you're producing out of the starport or not. In most cases, I was trying to still produce out of the starport until the end. So I didn't want to make just one Viking at a time. I didn't think that would do that much, although I kind of could have kept it back. I wanted more widow mine. But overall it worked out. So thanks for watching guys, and you have a good day.